Greetings, traveler. I know it may be tempting not to heed warnings telling you to turn back now, but this one you might want to pay attention to if you're sensitive towards sexual content or foul language in a podcast. We will be swearing during this episode, and we will be talking about some not-so-PG-13 things. So this is your one and only chance to turn back now. Please enjoy the show.
I'm ready for my close-up.
We don't do that here.
Oh, that's right.
Bruh.
Anyway, you guys ready to talk about backgrounds?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, we were looking through these and preparing for this. I kept wondering, like, which one of these do you think would, like, apply to us if we actually had backgrounds like these?
Us?
Yeah, like us.
Well, are you saying like what, like, I'd probably be a Lorehold student
Oh, yeah.
because that's literally just what I'm doing.
It is
True.
history major.
It's literally studying history, except not at Hogwarts. That would be cooler if it was at a magic school. I'm just at a regular school, a mundane school.
No, your school does have a magic school. You just can't find it.
Yeah. A true sight.
I'll get it back in like a year when I'm DMing again.
What about you, Jordan?
I'd probably get faceless.
Huh?
What about you, Pertuzit?
Well, I was looking through this whole list and I can't see tax fraud expert anywhere.
Real shit.
What?
Hey, I'm good at what I'm good at, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna
I think
need
that's
your
under
help.
feats. I think that's under feats.
Oh,
subclass?
That's right. Subclass for
Me.
roll the opening.
Tax fraud expert for Tucson. Hey everybody, welcome to the Nat One Podcast, aka Nope, because nope, you're not gonna want to hear what we're about to have to say. I'm Pertusic.
I'm Levi.
And I'm Jordan.
The first one has been unveiled.
Oh god, what are all the different subclasses for Pertusit?
We're gonna have to make these like a pin series or somebody. Everybody gets their own series of subclasses.
Tax fraud expert. We've got
Hag lover Pertusic. No.
JoJo enthusiast. We've got
Mock trial Pertusic is just a picture of Better Call Saul. Saul Goodman.
We've got, what are some other things you've done?
I don't know.
What do you do?
I don't know.
Where does the Pertuzit go?
I don't know. I'm figuring that out right now.
Doorman Pertusit from when you used to work in your dorm.
True. Pallet Jack Pertusic.
Yeah, Pallet Jack
Pro. Okay. For real. Talking about backgrounds today.
Indeed.
Can't remember if we actually have promised this in a previous video, but we're actually rating / talking about the real official backgrounds.
We had some misconceptions on what the assignment was.
As usual, yay!
We're all prepared this time. That's the
Roughly.
well, two of us were prepared this time, but had vastly
Listen.
different expectations about what we were doing.
Listen, I had complications. I would have been prepared.
Well, if there were complications, then that's a good thing we're giving you the cesarean background list.
Oh.
Any event, I don't know really where to start off with. I don't know. Let's just like.
Marie.
I mean, I have all the list of the ones from the PHB, but I didn't do the extended universe.
Like I did. Movie coming out in a week. We were sponsored. No.
God, I
should we
wish.
just go from the top down?
We can.
Alphabetical order.
I'm ready for all of them, Jordan.
I have the PHB ones.
Acolyte.
Well,
Okay.
no, I had them ranked, is what I have. I don't have them in alphabetical order.
It's true. I have mine in the tier list. So I have Acolyte sitting at a firm mid D tier.
Oh, I had
What
Acolyte
are all
Nav.
your tiers that you have?
Huh?
What are all your tiers that you have?
The standard. I have S, A, B, C, D, and F. I have an E. I just didn't use it.
Okay.
So yeah, Acolyte's close to the bottom for me. Not the bottom, but close to.
And why is that? What are you basing it off of?
True. We should also mention any basis, or at least for my own judgments, was purely based on how cool they sounded.
Mine
or
was
fun.
actually mechanical. So-
We flipped. I didn't look at all at the mechanics. I only looked at like that opening paragraph for each background.
And I'm gonna be like the mediator for this episode because I
There you
didn't
go.
prepare.
He didn't look
I
at
didn't do the
anything.
homework.
So yeah, I just thought the acolyte was lame because it was like, you're a churchgoer, you're a cleric person. It's like, tell me you're a cleric without taking the cleric class without telling me. You know what I mean?
Well, it does say you're not necessarily a cleric.
I know.
Or tell me you're just a hyper cleric.
Yeah.
Because most clerics have the I know Arlo had the acolyte background, which probably needs to be changed because I don't think that's true anymore. I might look into that after this.
Zamda has the acolyte background.
Yeah.
When
No
I use
digs
facials.
against no digs against someone that has it. I just thought it was boring, boilerplate, normal. Human
what
fighter
about-
acolyte.
What about the feature?
Didn't look at it.
You can seek solace at any temple that is related to your god, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
Oh,
it
yeah.
was the reason that I ranked it so low, mine was second from the bottom, is I thought, okay, this is an issue. I'm going to preface this with, this is an issue that I had with a lot of the feats backgrounds. I've said that like 4 times. Backgrounds. The problem that I have with most of the backgrounds is I think that the ones that are just rules as written are simultaneously too hyper-specific and also too broad to be applied to any character that you're making once you've played a full campaign. So like for starter characters, sure, cute, use them. But once you get to once you're a more advanced player, I like looking through the homebrew stuff and just figuring it out what works for your character. So I thought it was a little bit too specific, especially considering that if your game doesn't emphasize religion a whole lot, then it kind of just goes out the window.
Yeah, frankly, acolyte.
Make it emphasize religion.
Not acolyte, but backgrounds have a really weird place in D&D 5th edition as a whole because those features like never get used, or at least we never really used them. I think Taryn tried to once. Yeah, proficiencies. That's about it.
I agree with a lot of people that I think they're a step in the right direction, but as they sit right now, they're
strange.
Yeah, they're strange. It was like it's like I don't know how to phrase it. It's like it could have been really good and cool and awesome, but it's almost like a skeleton of that right now, where it's like the very base of something cool is there, but it's kind of bare bones and not really well fleshed out.
Yeah, and then of course, secondly, a disclaimer before you take any of our rankings seriously, we know nothing, almost hardly at all, about any canon locations in the game or the worlds. So if we say that like Boris Legionnaire sucks, we don't know Boris or their Legionnaires.
True.
So they might
play
be
exclusively homebrew.
I've been there actually.
You're Boris? Or are you the Legionnaire?
Boris.
I'm the Legionnaire.
Anyway, Levi, you have a verdict for Acolyte?
Do I have a verdict for Acolyte?
And I'm roping all of them together, all the Acolytes.
No, it's definitely mid.
Mid!
I mean, I don't necessarily think it's bad. I think it's more of a, like Jordan said, if your campaign doesn't revolve around religion a lot, it's kind of difficult, especially as a new player, to be like, oh, I don't get to I don't get to use my stuff. But if you're more experienced player, I think it becomes a little bit easier because then you're like, I'm gonna go out of my way. Because if you're new, you feel nervous. You don't want to push stuff. You don't want to try to change things that the DM's doing. If you've been playing with a DM for a while or another person who maybe played with you and is now DMing and you know each other, you feel more comfortable with them. You're more comfortable to be like, I need to go to one of my temples right now. I need to go off of track of what we're doing. I'm going to do it. So it's definitely more of a hands-on background where you kind of have to make the things with it happen yourself. Whether that's a good or bad thing is up to the player. So mid.
All right, we got some lows and a mid, which is slang for low. No. Next up, and I'm just discounting all the other acolytes, no offense, they have the same feature.
Acolyte Baldur's Gate.
No.
Are you going through the
Acolyte
full list?
Luxembourg.
Are you going through the full list of backgrounds, or what are we doing qualifying this as the list? Because if we do all of them, we're going to be here for a while.
That's true. I don't know. I have my top rated. We could just go through our tops.
Anthropologist.
Anthropologist.
I
Levi
did
wants
not
to do them
that
all.
one. Oh my god, guys! I am not editing a 3-hour long Nat One episode.
Aarakocra.
Well, I don't know. Let me. So, from my number one, the number one background that I chose of all time was Faceless.
Faceless is pretty cool. I like it. I have to look. I didn't put it in a list because I only did core content. So I need to look it up because I know the generalness of it, but I need to look at the finer details.
And again, like I said, I only looked at the little description blurb. I didn't look at the feature. But I thought it was cool. Also,
I think it's very cool.
My character Victor was a Faceless as well.
It's kind of like a changeling light.
I was gonna say changeling without committing to the changeling. Yeah.
Because you only have one other persona that you can be, but you don't have to be a changeling.
Yes. I just like that opening line.
I think it is good if you are playing a stealth, or an intrigue character. It could be very good for.
Or
as
just
well.
like in an intrigue campaign would also be a good idea.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
Gives you a disguise kit and a
Disguise kit.
costume.
And a costume. Deception and then intimidation's kind of mid for proficiency, but deception is pretty good.
Mhm.
Intimidation only works when you're allowed to combine it with other skills to get a plus 27.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Intimidation only works if you're a player because you can't, as a DM, say, yeah, he intimidates you.
Intima bluff.
Here's the thing, is the first sentence of the second paragraph. Characters with a faceless background don a disguise literally or otherwise as they adventure.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's very neat because it's almost like a trauma. Everyone in D&D does trauma. This is where we voice it out. But it can be a literal. It could be someone in charge of their other face thing, or it could be someone that's intentionally using it, or it can be unintentional. But we know how typically unintentional mood swing characters can be very rough to play sometimes. Very difficult, if nothing else.
I didn't know that Victor was a faceless. That's cool.
Yes, because he could never be a hero because of his past. His sins.
Even though he was.
Yes, that's what was really cool about it.
Mm-hmm.
Even so, that doesn't stop you. Yeah, I like Faceless.
Yeah, I think it's mid. No.
Nah!
I would put it pretty high up there.
Every single background for me is mid.
Levi just
think
hates
it's
backgrounds. Although I'm with you on that, the Levi, if you just hate backgrounds, because I was looking through these and I was like, all of these I don't like. Like
Yeah.
I can't think of any characters that I play right now that these would apply to.
Yeah.
It's not that I hate backgrounds. It's more like I unironically did not mean to come into this episode and be like the background critiquer. But I would say backgrounds as a concept, like I said in the very beginning, they're just not really fleshed out. They're not well-rounded yet. So as a concept, they're kind of mid.
Agreed. Atlas actually changed his background halfway through the campaign because the first one didn't work anymore.
The high of the mid and the low of the mid is what I'm
Yeah.
looking for here.
Yeah, no, for sure. We can all agree. Backgrounds as a system don't work. I mean, they're there because they don't impact the game majorly. You could never know someone's background throughout the whole game and be totally fine. But
Grinner.
we're not here to grill backgrounds today. We're here to talk about what's the best of them, even though they kind of suck.
Mid.
And the worst of them, making them really suck.
Grinner.
Grinner's weird, but
Grinner.
Oh, are we not doing tops anymore?
it was a talk about the Grinner.
I'm so confused.
We have to appease him.
Ah!
It's a Matt
We don't-
Mercer.
We don't have to talk about Grinner.
Okay, good, because it's weird.
I was just saying.
I don't know anything about
laugh.
it. I didn't
It's
look
really
into it.
strange. Okay,
It's,
Jordan, what's your number one?
Okay.
My number one is criminal.
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 Smiminal.
Yes. Just because I think it's a pretty useful I think it's useful, not useless.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is it criminal Baldur's Gate, criminal Myriad Operative, or criminal
I'm
slash
gonna
spy?
scream. It's the one from the PHB.
Well, I don't see one from a player's handbook on here. It says basic rules, Explorer's Guide to Wild Mountain, Baldur's Gate.
I'm gonna quit.
She's gonna edit you out.
I'm gonna edit you out of this episode entirely. It's the criminal slash spy from the basic rules.
I thought that one was cool.
Simic.
Where did I put that one?
But I like the feature of that with the connections because I think it's a good way to start establishing, and for a new player especially, it's a good way to establish
like it because
connections.
it's your background for Vivia 3.
It's not. Mine is homebrew based off of the criminal background. So, but no, I think it's a good way for new players to establish connections in the world so that it's a little bit easier to role play because it's kind of hard to start off and you're just like, I'm here.
I put criminal slash spy at C tier. I have a lot in C tier though, because I thought it was okay. I thought it was, of the basic ones, it was one of the coolest. It's not soldier or acolyte, sage. It wasn't basic. You had to ingrain yourself a bit in the world, but it wasn't so specific for you to be able to really have fun with it. You know, it's like, I'm a criminal. What kind of criminal were you? I did criminal things. Now there is the role where it says like, oh, determine what criminal background you had, but like, I wanted one of the ones we have later on. There's other ones that were far more specific, like Volstrucker agent, where it really describes where you came from, like an arcane thief, which is arcane trickster without telling me you're arcane trickster, but it's still cool, I think, because then you have to be like, why is my character this background? Why did they get into thieving and magicry all in one? Whereas criminal spy is so broad that it's like, well, yeah, I did bad things. And that's about it. But yeah,
which again, I think is part of why it's part of the basic rules because it's broad enough
because
so
it's basic.
Yeah, it is. Well, and that's why Levi was saying my background for Vivia 3 is loosely based off of the criminal, but it's definitely more tailored towards Ren's actual
basic
backstory and background without just being like, yes, I am criminal. It's actually, I think the background I homebrewed was like mafia enforcer. And it's like, it's got a little bit more language around it.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Okay, Levi, you want to do Grinner or you want to pick a different one?
Noble.
Okay.
Specifically
Noble.
Baldur's Gate. No.
We all both Jordan and I. Like
regular noble.
That was my number 3.
I don't think Jordan's gonna be happy with me.
I probably not.
Oh wait, no, I put it in C tier as well.
Okay.
Mid.
Literally knowing mid. What I know about it, I like it because it gives you versatility to do different things with it. Because you can be a noble who's like well ingrained in the ideas of what a noble should be, and you're like, I should be a good person and uphold the law and use my privilege for good things. Or you can be a noble that's like, fucking, I'm gonna use my privilege to get rich, I'm gonna use my privilege to exploit other people and be a bad person. Or you could be somewhere in the middle. Things that backgrounds that allow you to diversify because they give you a broad umbrella to work under, I like.
Levi, you stole my reason.
And also, it's got a lot of tables. Noble has a lot of tables.
It does.
Yeah.
I also like it because it's another one that kind of like puts you in the world to start off, which I always like. So, because it establishes some connections right up front.
Yeah, I thought the same thing where it's like, I put it in C tier because it's right next to Criminal Spy for me, where it's like you have to ingrain yourself a bit in the world. If you so choose, you can get really in depth with it. You can talk about how your family came to prominence and what shady deals they had performed to do so, or all this stuff. Or you can just be like, I don't know, DM, just like make me a prince. Call it a day. But as we saw, like I said earlier, there's other ones that are more precise that you have to, it's more of a challenge to be like, well, why is my character this? The noble is just like it's like you said, it's under an umbrella. It's an umbrella term. There's a bunch of room. I don't like the room so much because then you can be an inch deep and you're in. But with the other ones, you have to really consider, how did my character get here? I think that's more fun to play with. But that's why Noble is a C, because it's better than Sage. That's the one. I'm sorry to all Sage players out there. I'm crapping on them all recording session.
We're gonna disagree on that a little bit.
Oh no. All right.
Okay. New one.
New one. I get to tell you a new one.
Plaintiff.
We can talk about Plaintiff, but it's not your turn.
No. I'm just trying to bring up the most off the wall ones.
The next one I want to talk about is Rakdos Cultist. That's a pretty off the wall one.
That one I know nothing about.
That is my number 2.
Grinner.
No.
Rakdos Cultist. There he is.
The basic idea of it is that they're a performer that loves performing with other Rakdos cultists. However, it's because they are in a cult that is dedicated to like evil demon delights and violence, but also putting on a show. So in the daylight, they like work a circus, and in the nighttime, they kill people.
Lovely. Wait, I love that. That's fun.
Exactly. That's what I put. I have a note. I have a note that I wrote for it. Where did I put it? Rakdos cultist, Pog performers. That's what I wrote down.
Oh my god.
That's one of those ones where I'm like, why? How did your character get to this point? And I think that's really neat.
Oh my god, the feature is actually pretty interesting.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to look into this.
A flair for the dramatic. You can be a fire juggler.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's not the feature. Go below that.
Oh, fearsome reputation. You can get away with minor criminal offenses.
Yeah, that's actually
sweet.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Most people are too daunted by you to report your wrongdoing.
I think that's a neat one.
Oh, that's from Magic the Gathering.
Is it? I know that.
Yes.
Because the Ravnica setting is from Magic the Gathering, and it's from Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica.
Cool.
I knew that Victor ended up with the weapon Rakdos Right Knife.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, huh? Rakdos.
Very cool.
That's my pick. Jordan, give us your next pick.
What is my next pick? My next pick is Urchin, and I made this a week ago, so I don't remember why I picked Urchin as my number 2.
Let me look where I put Urchin. Levi, what are your Urchin thoughts?
Well, are you talking about for the...
Don't. I already knew. He was going to say Urchin or Urchin Baldur's Gate.
No, that's not the joke I was going for. You were
not?
wrong. I was going to say, are you talking about the background or in real life?
Oh.
The sea creature?
Me! I'm the urchin. No.
Oh.
That's my background. I'm a sea creature.
I like the sea creature urchins. They wear hats and it's adorable. They do. They put things on their heads. It's so cute.
Do sea urchins have heads?
Well, they put things on top of themselves. And like aquariums will give them hats to put on top of themselves, and it's really freaking cute because a lot of aquariums have urchins in top hats.
Urchin.
What
the fuck?
What?
I'm reading the feature and wow, yeah, no, that's just in any city ever. That's pretty good. That's a good feature.
Right? It's so cool.
Yeah.
I
Why
like
did
how
none of you pick urchin? That's good. Go be urchins.
I like that they specified not in combat your movement speed is increased. DM, we're in a city. Shouldn't I have 60 feet of movement speed?
Well, I feel like it's like the ranger feature where your travel time is cut or whatever.
Yes.
So I like it. I think it's very cool.
Oh God. You walk into a dank, dark alleyway in the city to confront this guy you've been tracking down. 30 urchins surround you. They all have 60-foot movement speed because they're in a city.
Now I'm just imagining the real urchins having that much speed again. Just a bunch of sea urchins.
That would be terrifying.
It would. With that, I have sea urchin. I have urchin at a B tier. Which is higher than average for the player's handbook things for me. I thought it was also very cool because that's another one where you have to be like, why is my character an urchin? And it's easy to say, I didn't have parents. Yes, I'm a rogue. How did you know? But if you use it, if you have a player that uses it and is like an actual urchin, I think it'd be cool. Have you guys watched the John Wick movies?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
There's a whole network of homeless people that
Urchins.
are like actually assassins, yes, and they know the best ways to get in and out of the cities and transport stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, imagine using that and like being a player that knows how to use the urchin background with that.
I think it's cool. I think it has really good potential. And if you're not sensing a theme here yet, I like things that put players in the world solidly. And I think that's another one. Because if you have
illegal things.
What?
Truing.
Criminal, urchin,
illicit substances.
Illicit substances. Call back or call forward.
Back.
I don't remember.
Adjacent. Call adjacent.
Call adjacent.
Diagonal.
Rhombus.
Multi-dimensional callback with what's the chess game called?
Multi-dimensional chess with time travel. Chess.
Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff.
5D. Oh wait, okay. 5D callback with multiverse time travel.
Yeah.
It's my turn.
Yeah, pick another background to talk about. Don't do one we've already done.
I'm looking. I'm looking.
He's
I'm
looking.
I'm looking. I'm looking.
Look faster.
Do
better.
Entertainer.
Okay.
Oh, I had entertainer way lower than I thought I did. Hold on. Why did I hate entertainer past me? What is going on?
Where did I put entertainer as well? Oh, I hated entertainer.
Oh, it's just Bard Light. That's why.
I put entertainer in the D tier.
It's a beer name, Bard Light.
Entertainer is in the 9 spot for me out of 13.
I didn't like it. It is Bard Light, and also it's just like.
And we hate bards here. We've been over this.
It's true.
It's so.
But yes.
It's so vague that like it might as well say person. Individual.
You don't get anything from the feature.
There's a table and you roll to see what kind of entertainer you are.
Wow, that's so cool. I didn't ask.
But you don't get anything from the feature.
You get free food. You have free lodging and food.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's also folk hero, and folk hero is arguably cooler.
As long as you perform each night, you have to perform each night.
Exactly. That's why folk hero is better.
I suppose it does like make you have to put up a thing where you have to perform every night, but like I feel like when you do it once or twice, the party's like, oh, cool, you know, Bard's going to go perform, or in this case, just entertainers.
Bard's going to bard.
Yeah, but then when it's happening every single night, you're probably just like, all right, cool the first time, annoying the 10th time.
What if they write an original song every night?
Well, then I tell them there's a place called SoundCloud and to go there instead of our D&D sessions. But sorry to all entertainer stands out there. Go to SoundCloud.
What if they have never heard of SoundCloud in their lives?
Well, now they have.
I'm helping them, yes.
How are you going to explain to them what SoundCloud? No,
I'm not. That's what their mother is for.
That's what Google is for.
Aristotelian method of.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to keep asking you questions.
Just keep asking questions, and then no one will know what you're asking.
Oh, yeah, that's the best mock trial strategy.
It is. So I'm next, and I want to talk about the Simic Scientist.
Again,
that's my
the Simic Scientist?
Yes.
Mid.
What?
No. Imagine a perfect world.
Imagine a Simic Scientist.
I don't have to imagine that.
The rundown is, Jordan, you know the Simic hybrid race in D&D?
Indeed, I do.
Simic Scientists are the people that made them.
Oh, cool.
It's a background that gives you a spell list? What the fuck?
Oh, that's sick. I like that.
Yep.
That's a little bit broken.
Yes.
Oh, man.
A little quirky?
That's a little bit broken. And contacts?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, I dig it.
Gives you a contact list at the bottom.
I think
that's
it's very
pretty cool.
I just like...
Yeah.
There's the idea.
Free polymorph?
Yeah.
free polymorph, free expeditious retreat, free water breathing. It's the best. It's the best background you could ever pick.
You can have water breathing prepared.
Before you get too excited, Levi, you do know this only applies if you are a spellcasting class already, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay. I was making sure you weren't thinking full fighter gets creation at 5th level.
That would, okay, but hear me out.
Vegetable matter.
Cool as it would be. But I just thought it was cool because I had this idea for a character that was a Simic hybrid that had a Simic Scientist background, and they had experimented on themselves for some reason. Like it was a tragic thing.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Some kind of fucking superhero villain backstory.
Yes. I was thinking of this is one of those ones where like it's so precise, you have to figure out why they were the way they were, and then from there you create a really cool narrative.
It's Dr. Connors from Spider-Man. You just want to make everyone reptiles.
I don't want to cure cancer.
I want to make dinosaurs. I raise you. It's more like the epic tale of Morbius.
Oh my god, I can't believe you're bringing up the greatest movie of all time. Produce it.
I know.
Guys.
Jordan, it's your turn to bring up a background.
Okay.
Bring up a worse movie because all movies are bad in comparison to Morbius.
Mm-hmm.
My 4th place is Sage, which I know Pertuzet and I are going to disagree on. I'm saying that it's useful because it was useful in Vivia 2, because we saved an entire goddamn library with the Sage background. Just saying.
Top of my D tier.
Well, because that was before Atlas switched his background. Both Atlas and Saladin had the Sage background, and so that's how we cleared out the library before the siege happened, was we were able to swiftly look through all the books and figure out what was worth saving. And also we did other research on other things that were important to the campaign at the time that I'm not going to get into because that's not important right now.
Seems cool to me. Seems very niche. We were in a niche situation.
It's very specific.
But I feel like this one does not require you to ingrain yourself in the world at all. So if you're a wizard, you pick this and then you don't have to create any NPCs. You're like, I just went to the library every day. And that's it. Which is fine, but it presents no challenge.
Books are the NPCs.
But that's like what I am in real life.
Cool.
But that's like what I am in real life, Pertusa. You're telling me that people in real life don't do stuff where they don't talk to anyone ever? Because I don't.
I spent an entire college education to say yes.
I'm talking to you guys, but aside from you, when I do stuff on college campus, I don't talk to other human beings.
Oh, we don't count as human beings.
Oh, you cut out for a minute for me, Jordan?
I thought you were going to say we don't care.
I heard that too.
And I like...
No!
We don't care.
No! We don't count as human beings.
But no, what made it worse was you went, oh, and so I thought you were degrading me. No! When you were going to be like, oh, we don't care. Yeah.
Mean. Oh my god.
This is why sages are the worst. Look how bullied they are. No.
Oh my god.
That was funny.
Oh, we don't care.
No, we don't count as human beings.
Oh. Yeah, I mean that's really all I say about Sage is you go study stuff. If you try to ingrain yourself, you can talk about like how it says in equipment, you have a letter from a dead colleague. So you can work with it. But I feel like almost every player, since backgrounds are minimal, people are gonna pick that because they're a wizard, and then they're gonna move on and be like, I don't know the name of the libraries I went to. I don't know any books. I don't have any friends. I don't know the librarian.
That's just me in real life. No.
Oh, that's why Atlas had that, because there was a letter. I think the text on D&D Beyond is like a letter with a question that you never found the answer to.
Yeah.
And so that was worked into Atlas's backstory, and that's like one of the sole reasons why I picked that background originally for Atlas.
I mean, I think that's just the case with a lot of backgrounds, though. Is it's either it could be really simple or it could be really cool. It just depends on who the player is.
Yes.
Because if the player cares, then they're gonna make their background cool.
Yeah.
Or not.
All right, Levi, pick the next one for us. Make it a good one.
Pirate.
Oh,
I
Jordan.
love pirates.
Let me get, what is it?
I don't even know the details of the feat. I love pirates.
Feet.
You are a pirate.
It's the 7th time that I've done this. Background. We are talking about backgrounds. God damn it.
It is one step below sage for me.
I need to look at the actual flavor text and the actual feature. I
Bruh.
just, anything that has pirates in the
This is
title, I'm
a
usually
true
gonna like.
Hackos Bales bruh moment. Bruh.
It's a pirate. It's Pirate Johnson, Mr.
After
Pirate.
we had a whole episode about pirates and how much you thought they were cool, produce it. You put it in D tier,
Yes. The roleplay
Produce it.
potential is low.
not real pirate enjoyer.
I am when you're
Fake.
good.
Fake pirate enjoyer.
Fake pirate liker.
Like her.
Liker. I barely even
I barely know her.
I hate both of you.
But I would like her even if I didn't know her.
No matter where you go, people are afraid of your reputation. Oh, so it's just the Rakdos entertainer or whatever it's called, the Rakdos guy that we looked at earlier. That's the same feature.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can get away with minor crime. Actually, it's the exact same text,
Yeah.
which means the Rakdos feature probably came from this one because this one's from the player's handbook.
Probably. But I told you before, I didn't read a single feature, only the description blurb at the top.
Oh wait, I had this one listed as sailor and it was ranked kind of in the middle.
Oh.
Because I think it's another one where it's highly situational, but it can be good with the being able to get passage on a ship.
Wait a minute.
You are
Sailor can get you on a boat.
yeah.
Yes. I'm looking at the sail. The first thing that popped up whenever I searched pirate was background sailor variant pirate.
That's a very
No, there's one that's just called a pirate
Yeah.
in the that
Yes.
I'm looking at right now.
Correct. Yeah, there's also another one pirate. That's a sailor pirate.
The sailor pirate is at the bottom of sailor.
It's from Wildmount.
Yeah.
Oh
No.
no, I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the variant sailor pirate is just pirate, but then they also made an entire background for it so that you didn't have to like.
Yeah. That's why
Okay. Okay.
Where the confusion's coming from, because it's under the same thing, but you have the variant. The bad reputation is the variant of the pirate variant.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Pirate.
Pirates.
My point is that pirate was just lame.
Mid.
Because it was just pirate.
Mid.
That's all it was.
Are you saying?
I'm
Mid?
saying it's D tier number 2.
Mid.
Below mid.
Bill mid.
Whoa.
We can agree on that because I had sailor / pirate at number 8 on mine.
Mid
I
low.
had the other ones, which we'll get to later maybe, like shipwright and smuggler. I had them higher because that's more precise. And so you have to be like, oh, this is what I did. But like with the other ones we mentioned before, pirate is like, yeah, I was a deckhand, or I dropped the anchor, I stabbed a guy, I ate an orange. You don't
Powder
have
monkey.
to put, yes, you don't have to put effort into it if you don't want to. But something like smuggler or shipwright, you do have to put some effort into.
Or you didn't eat an orange and that's why your constitution is bad.
Dylan, get on the phone. Scurvy, would you like scurvy? So a theme we're going to see is that I think if the floor to take the background, like if the effort required to take the background and make sense of it is low, then I don't care for it, because that means
we're
minimal
in agreement
effort.
on that.
Yeah.
We are definitely in agreement on that.
The higher effort required to make the background make sense for the character, I think makes it more fun. It's like in a video game how there's a high skill ceiling and a high skill floor. I think in this case, that's what I'm saying is cooler. Anyway, my next pick. Oh, this one's gonna be a fun one. Celebrity Adventurer's Scion. Many big words. The feature.
Is that like tour manager?
No, it's my mom was the performer.
Oh my god.
The feature for it is called name dropping.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're just Alexis Rose.
I love it. The first sentence is, your family name strikes fear and admiration in the hearts of the common folk, but that's got nothing to do with you.
That's wonderful.
I thought that was so fun because there's a lot of variant for how you can play that, where you're like, well, I love my dad. I love him very much. Or you can be like, I don't want to have my family name because I'm edgy and I got nothing to do with them.
You could go
out into the
I was gonna say
I've got the whole world to see.
Go the Nick Cage route. Yeah, no, my name Coppola was just getting too much attention, so I changed it.
Yeah. Exactly. I think there's a lot of room for play there and a lot of fun. And I think DMs will have fun with it too, because then that means that they get to make one or two adventuring parents, or even better, one adventurer parent and one that's also not, that's just like, oh, that's nice, sweetie.
Good job, honey. Now go to your next book signing.
We found it. Blaric's son. This is the background.
Throw back to our Valentine's Day episode. Go watch that.
Yeah, find Blaric.
I actually love name dropping though, just because of how it works.
Let me see.
It's literally just like, oh yeah, I know your dad, or I know your mom. That's what it is. It's like, oh yeah, you're like little Jimmy, aren't you? I remember you when you were just this big.
It's like how last names in small towns work.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's like a king being like that to you because your parents like did work for the king as adventurers.
Yeah.
So the king's like, I remember when they were here, I hated them.
Oh, this background in Vivia.
Centauros at Eok.
Yeah.
You're Victor's kid?
Not Centauros, Earham at Eok. Yeah, no, I remember Taylor and Arnold.
Yeah. So I think this one's just fun. It's just fun. And no one that wants to put minimal effort in is going to take this because it's too many big words. Also came from Acquisitions Incorporated, but that's aside.
Yeah. A lot of the Acquisitions Incorporated stuff, though, has some good humor in it.
Yes. So next up, Jordan.
Let's talk about the Charlatan. There is a theme. I do like crime in D&D. That is
false identity.
Right.
I got Charlatan like probably exactly mid of C tier.
Mid!
And like the literal mid of my list probably.
Same, mine is number 6.
Yeah.
Mid! We found it!
We found
mid.
The literal mid!
John Mid! He's a charlatan.
Better proficiencies than, what was the other one? Faceless. Because I think Sleight of Hand's better than Intimidation. I think you use it more.
Agreed.
I think it depends on your class as well, because like if you're a rogue, I'm pretty sure you get to pick one of these anyway, and so it'd be like, well, I already got all these.
Mm-hmm.
I like this one in partnership with a changeling or a rogue, because especially if you're doing like a mastermind or somebody that is like sneaky and deceptive, I like that you get your like documentation and stuff like that. I think that's cool. And I also, again, more ingraining in the world. If you have ingrained personas in the world that people know and you walk around, that's another thing.
Levi, charlatan.
I think that if you are active with it, it can be very good. I mean, this is just the running theme for all of them with me, though. I think that if you play into it and play it up, yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be good, especially because I really like on the favorite schemes list. I like the last one a lot. Of the I convince people worthless junk is worth their hard-earned money, because that one's really not like that one's not really illegal or anything. It's just like being like, yes, this is definitely worth 500 gold pieces, and you should buy it. And then the person buys it from you, and you're like, bruh.
It breaks in 5 minutes, but you've already disappeared by then.
Yeah. Like you got the money. They gave it to you willingly.
See, okay, I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent, but to start, I like Charlatan. It's it's exactly mid because I think it depends on how you use it. Also, I think there's like a cap for how well you can use it. Even the best user of it, I think, is going to start becoming annoying if they lean too much into it. But the one thing, okay, I've been watching Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul a lot lately because the new season's coming out. I'm such a good fanboy. I'm so quirky. Better Call Saul, Saul Goodman, aka Jimmy McGill, is the embodiment of Charlatan. He just goes around pranking people. In fact, for that one feature, he's got this scheme that they show on the show In Depth, where he gets a regular 50-cent coin and he talks to another friend who's in on it with him and tries to sell him the 50-cent coin, saying it's a rare misprint where the head's facing the wrong way. And that's actually worth hundreds of dollars. And he's trying to sell it right now because he needs the money. And the other person says, no, I'm not buying. And then he goes like, oh, I'm going to call someone and ask them what they think. They call and the person's like, they don't actually call anyone. They just pretend to call someone. They go like, wow, it's really worth thousands of dollars. And then the third party that watched the whole conversation comes up and gets heated and buys the coin for them for hundreds of dollars. And they split the money, even though it was just a normal 50-cent coin.
Wow.
I love it. I love it.
So, I'm sorry, I went on a tangent, but that's exactly a charlatan.
No, I dig it. That's cool.
That is a Charlotte's Web move.
And I think it'd be cool. I really like the idea, instead of a rogue or someone sneaky using this, I like imagine like a wizard having this, being smart, and then also being wise enough to be like, okay, guys, we got to get out of here. I have this number of someone that's going to get us out of town. I know how to get us out. We'll get out of here like lickety split. And they also know how to fool people. I love the idea of someone that shouldn't be a charlatan being a charlatan.
See, I like Artificer being a charlatan.
Yes.
I think that could be funny. Of like, they just have a one-stop shop of all of the criminal activity things that you could need. And like the party's in there like, all right, we need like three of these. We need fake identities. And the Artificer's like, I can do that too.
Yeah. Or what about
50 more gold.
Cleric charlatan.
Could be cool, yeah.
Dirty priest. I like these ideas. Or a cop, but I don't know what that would be. Probably a paladin.
Probably.
But yeah,
How would that
that's
even
my
work?
charlatan. I don't know. You have to find a bad oath breaker.
Oathbreaker, but because I stole 25 cents one time.
Oath, but it doesn't say anything about thieving.
You found a copper on the ground that wasn't yours, and therefore you.
And so then my god descended from the heavens and in a fiery display condemned me in front of the city to see. And so now, out of spite, I'm an oathbreaker.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. And that's how I got the charlatan background. So next up, Levi, pick one.
All right. That's one we've already done. I'm just trying to randomize here real quick. I just did. I just looked at that one. Uthgart tribe member.
Shoot, did I even write that one
God
down?
damn it, Levi.
Okay, I have it on here somewhere, I swear.
Tribe. I found it. God, I gotta look at it.
I believe I just included that in my list of all of the Outlanders.
Makes sense.
Any single background that says, you're not from this place. You're a fish out of water. I said, that's all the same background. So Outlander, Wanderer, Hermit, Phalos, I said are all pretty much the same, except I gave bonus points to Phalos because it's a little original.
Mm-hmm.
An Uthgart tribe member isn't?
No, it's not. It's ingrained in a very specific world setting that I know nothing about. My understanding of it is that you have a tribe and you're going somewhere that's not involved with your tribe. If you played in the world setting, it might be cooler, but can't speak much on it because I don't know the world setting. I think it's a Faerun.
Yeah, it is.
Uthgart.
It's from Sword Coast Adventurers Guide.
Oh, Skag.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's bad.
Bad.
I think it's just bad. Because not only is it specific to Faerun, it's specific to like a very small area in Faerun.
Tribe member would have been much better if it was just tribe member. I could work with that. There could be much more like.
And the feature has to do with you being in the area of the Uthgart tribes and not like anything that helps you outside of that. So it would be a very niche, like,
so
we have
useless.
to go to my hometown.
Oh, it's back to the acolyte argument.
Yes.
Nah, I think if you got rid of the Uthgart part, it would be so much better because then it could just be like, oh, you're not a fish out of water. You have a tribe. They're just, potentially backwards. Or maybe not even backwards. Maybe they're just a tribe. That's not
Forwards.
Grung
tribe member.
Grung tribe member would be sick. But but this isn't Grung tribe member. This is Uthgart. So I don't care for it.
Uthgrung.
Jordan, you like the Uthgarts?
I know very little about the Uthgarts.
Chancellor. No.
The Uthgrung tribe.
The Uthgrung tribe.
Okay, I got 2 more top tiers, and then I got an F tier. Jordan, how many you got on your list?
We went through most of my top tier. I just have to say I put Hermit at the very bottom because I think Hermit is lame.
Okay.
That's my number 13 because continue with the trend of not including yourself in the world. If you're gonna make your backstory that you're alone, you can make a better reason to be alone.
Yeah,
like you can still have in-world connections without just being like, I live alone in the forest or on a mountain. That's boring.
I think Hermit is the peak of lazy background.
Mm-hmm.
It's I didn't want to think of the world DM, so just put me in a mountain somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah, I think Hermit is lame and stupid.
Levi?
What?
Simonius was a hermit.
I know.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, I pretty much agree with this one.
Although, okay, but Simonius did it in a creative way. There's a reason that he lived in a cave by himself for 50 years.
It was only 30.
Yeah.
Still.
But I do think that he did that because of the table on the hermit, which tells you why you were in a cave for 30 years.
I was searching for spiritual enlightenment.
Okay,
Yep.
but does the table say anything about exclusively subsisting off of salt?
No, that's just
No.
That
That's just...
So
to be clear, we love Simonius. He was a very funny character, but he's a
Yes.
little goofy.
My next one is a strange one that I want to bring up. I put it in my S tier. We're almost out of my S tier. I just liked it because I like the idea. This is one of those ones where it's so strange and normal that you have to be like, why are you an adventurer now? Fisher. From the Ghost of Saltmarsh book.
He's just vibing. He likes fish.
The only note I put for this in my S tier to explain why was, call me Ishmael.
That's why you're an adventurer.
I hunt the white whale.
I don't know. The fishing tail table is pretty cool.
It dragged the boat. Lobster wrestling. Fins appear. Ghost fish.
Once was a fish that put to sea.
Oh, that is
Insert
cool.
Wellerman here.
Yeah.
It swallowed the sun. Dive into the abyss.
That is cool stuff.
Why? Sorry, I'm eating a cracker. Why is the Fisherman one of the coolest fucking backgrounds we've seen so far?
It's so mundane, but also so it's one of those things where it's like just an NPC and you don't think they're that cool, and they whip out this. But I want to be the NPC. I want to take the N out of the PC.
You want to do what?
Huh? Harvest the water. That's the name of the feature.
What are you putting where?
History and survival are your skill proficiencies, which are
I'm
mid.
unmoved by the wrath of nature.
That's one of the personality traits.
You could stop at 5 or 6 stores. Or just 1.
I like the number 4 personality trait. Rich folk don't know the satisfaction of hard work.
I love it.
Get a fisher and a noble in the same party. Oh,
That
boy.
would be hilarious.
Wouldn't it? Oh, that's all I wanted to talk about Fisher. Well,
Soon may the fishermen come.
Levi, you got one more for us, and then I'll do my last. Well, I think you do one more, and then Jordan, I think, have the same one we need to talk about.
Urban bounty hunter.
I put that one high. I put that one in B tier. Yeah. No,
I
A
looked
tier.
at
Top of
that.
A tier.
I've looked at that one for a character before, but I can't remember exactly what it does.
I don't know what it does. I just know it sounded cool. Ear to the ground.
Yep. You are in frequent contact.
Yeah.
Basically, you get a free connection to anyone.
I like it.
It's kind of similar to Criminal, but it's like reverse Criminal. Smiminal?
Maybe. Or it could be just Smiminal, where you're you're whatever it is, you're a bounty hunter. It doesn't mean that you're bounty hunting for, the police or the guards. Maybe you're hunting guards for the criminals. Who knows?
This is how you make the Mandalorian in D&D. That's gonna peak, and I'm gonna have to listen to that when I edit this.
Sorry, I tried to stay away from the mic.
Thanks, guys.
Now we're gonna get a copyright strike from Dnd.
No, I think they're gonna call us and be like, "We need you."
Disney, please hire us
now.
Get in the recording booth, please.
I would cry. Please hire us. Disney, Wizards, anybody?
Also, you get to choose 2 from 4 whole different skill proficiencies. Very handy.
Oh my god, it says Among.
That hurt me.
Good.
Like, I felt my heart just, like, I think I lost an atrium. But
Good.
yeah, Urban Bounty Hunter is pretty cool.
The Insight Persuasion Bounty Hunter. Or the Deception Stealth Bounty Hunter. Or the Stealth Persuasion Bounty Hunter.
Ooh, I don't want to linger on it, but I did have one final one in S tier called the Inheritor. And all I have from my notes for that one is I'm rich, but at what cost? Guts theme.
Finral.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That made me think of that as us doing the Mandalorian thing. But anyway, now Jordan and I, we have to talk about Folk Hero.
Indeed.
Folk.
What do you have to say about Folk Hero?
I had Folk Hero in like my dead middle because I think the feature is cool, but I think it's another one like Entertainer where it can get kind of annoying if you overplay it. So it's cool. It's pretty middle tier.
There we go.
It is the only one that I have in F tier. Because it starts with an F. No, that's not true.
Fisher.
Oh, that's true. Folk Hero, I read the first, I said to myself, that's going to be lame because it's going to be, tell me you want to be the protagonist of D&D without telling me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, maybe not. Maybe it's got something where it's kind of down to earth and it's trying to be like, oh, you helped someone get a cat out of a tree and that's it. Then I read the first sentence. Already the people of your home village regard you as their champion and your destiny calls you to stand against tyrants and monsters.
Yeah, I feel like you would have to have some like in-depth talks with other people and your DM to use this. Like this is I feel like this one might be like the hallmark of the toxic D&D player that just wants to be the protagonist.
Yeah.
So like if you have it like, because when I read it originally, I was thinking like a Gilderoy Lockhart kind of thing where it's all a sham. But I guess yeah, the mind kind of does immediately go to protagonist.
I like I said, I was going to give it a chance if it was humble and it was like you were really well known in your community because you were a helpful guy. Like in, don't cringe too hard, in League of Legends, there's a character called Braum, and he was really helpful. He's doing breathing exercises in there.
That was my cringe. I cringed as hard as I could. I hope that was good.
It was. But yeah, Braum, he's only well known in his like hometown really for quite a while because he was a boy that used his shield to help the people and was just a happy, nice guy that saved the people and the wildlife. Mm-hmm. He was not the hero that saved the problems or anything. That's what made him cool, because he was relatively humble. Yeah.
Well, and I think this brings up another one of my complaints with backgrounds is either backgrounds tend to start you at too low a level or too high of a level, where the expectation is like, yeah, I'm a level 1 adventurer, but I've killed like 7 people.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't really balance out. And I think that's part of the issue that I also have. I like Criminal, but that's one of the issues that I also have with Criminal is like, you're this well-established criminal and like you have this background and this repertoire with all these people, but you're level 1.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think the takeaway from this whole thing is to tell everybody at home, just be a fisher. Choose the fisher background.
Be the fisherman.
That's all you got to do.
Be the Wellerman. And
you're fine. Every other background is a red flag. Sorry. I didn't want to say it, but...
Now we end this episode with our own rendition of the Wellerman.
All right.
The fisherman.
Yeah. Ready? Go.
There.
Ooh.
Soon may the fisherman come
Got
to bring
Steve.
us.
To bring us salmon and roe and gum.
Do you automatically get the fish cantrip if you're a fisher?
Only if you're playing a martial class.
One day
I
when
love
the
it.
fishing is done, we'll take our fish and go.
Oh!
That's it. Hi, this is Jordan from Nat One Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode you just listened to, and we hope that you come back for more soon. If you'd like to keep up with the zany shenanigans of our lives and the different things that we do, you can find us on Twitter, TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, CastBox, and Anchor. We look forward to seeing you again soon. And hey, thanks.